Hello everyone! What a super second ODI between India and New Zealand. New Zealand competed and competed well. Will this momentum continue for them or will India get back at them in the upcoming third one-dayer? Hello Suneer!
Hi Shruti, how is it going for you?
It's going really good, but what went wrong for India? They seemed to be on a bit of a roll but had their wings clipped in that second ODI.
Look, credit where it's due, and I think it was a very disciplined bowling display from New Zealand that took the game away from India. But here's the thing, going into the series, I had a feeling that the Indian bowling had a bit of rawness in it, and I'd spoken about it before the first one day international as well. But as a unit, they have done really well in both the games with the bowling. It's their batting that has struggled to come to terms with, the format, I suppose, because they've not been playing too much of white ball cricket. Someone like a Rohit Sharma relishes ODI cricket but hasn't got going in both the one-day internationals. And then you have Virat Kohli when he gets out cheaply for a change, which happened in the second one-day. The rest of them have failed to pick up the gauntlet and move on from there. They look up to these senior ODI pros, white ball cricket pros, and when they do not do too well, it's a problem for the Indian batting.
Speaking of Rohit, he looked to have suffered an injury in the second game. Do you think there will be any changes to the Indian 11?
That looked like a painful blow to his bicep, no doubt. But I'm not sure whether it was a twinge tear or mere cramps. If it is just cramps, he should be fit for this game. But if not, India will have to think of alternatives. There's Mandeep Singh obviously waiting in the ranks, but the other option is for Suresh Raina to come back. And we know that he was suffering from a fever. So if he is recovered fully, he might come back into the Indian team. And in that case, Virat Kohli can be promoted up the order to open the innings, which he has done in the IPL as well. As far as the bowling is concerned, unless the surface in Mohali is expected to be a real slow and low one at the start of the game, I doubt MSD will want to do much with the attack. The quick bowling department has been excellent, which leaves only Akshar Patel or Amit Mishra to come in under a bit of a scanner for their role in the first two one internationals. They do have an off-spinning all-rounder, Jayant Yadav, who has done well abroad on A2s, waiting in the ranks as well. But if he has to come into the squad, if he has to come into the playing 11, whether he will replace a spinner or coming for one of the pace bowlers remains to be seen. So Shruti, will India recover according to you and do well in this ODI, or are we looking at a New Zealand resurrection?
No, India will recover. I don't see any reason presented in the cards as to why they shouldn't. But strangely, India's batting, bowling and fielding in the first 15 overs will need to be played out more cautiously. But other than that, I do see good teamwork. And as the team gain back their dented confidence, we should see a mature performance from them. It's the last 10 overs of India's batting that could prove to be a game changer. Their acceleration could be key. On to New Zealand. What did you make of them in Delhi?
Kane Williamson's century won him the Man of the Match award in a game where no other batsman got to more than 46. Yes, there was no other batsman who scored a half century in that game, which says a lot about the quality of his innings. The other thing that points to the same quality is how New Zealand fell from 213 for 4 to 242 for 9 once he was dismissed. It was that tough a pitch in Firozshah Kotla. But take no credit away from Trent Bolt, to finish with figures of 2 for 25 from his 10 overs. And if there was any game where the Man of the Match award could be shared, it was this one. Both Williamson and Bolt deserved it equally, I think. Bolt at different times in the game as well. He bowled with a new ball, came in the middle overs, and then bowled at the back of the innings as well, and gave nothing away every time he bowled. The next best economy in his side was Mitchell Santner's 4.9 an over. So that speaks volumes about his performance as well.
Now that they have won a game, will New Zealand be a threat going into this third game?
Look, New Zealand have always been a team that have punched above their weights. But having said that, one might argue that they are the World Cup runner-up and not exactly the underdogs in this format going into this series. But given the context, given what has happened in the Test series before that and the first one-day international loss, they definitely started the second match as second favourites and turned it around well, I think. So in that sense, yes, India will need to be wary of New Zealand and Mohali. But I sense the Kiwis will know they cannot assume the game is won thanks to the presence of batsmen like Pandya, India coming in at 8, and we saw what he did, and we saw how India came back from a near impossible situation to almost win the game in the second one international. So what won't surprise me is that New Zealand will look to take on the Indian bowlers slightly more than what they have done so far in the two matches, and would want a good score batting first if they do manage to bat first this time. Shruti, on to you now. How do the cards look for New Zealand?
New Zealand won the second ODI, and one would believe that the confidence gained will continue through to this third game. Well, it does, but up to a point, because they battle well with the bat and ball. In fact, their batting in the middle overs could be most crucial for them. But despite creating opportunities to win the game, they may struggle to cross the finishing line. This game for me might just be a tight one. What do you think, Suneer? Do you think New Zealand will win this one?
Tight one for me as well. A tough game yet again. Don't think it will be one-way traffic, but India to just edge out New Zealand out of this contest. Expect Kohli to storm back from that rare failure that last game as well and get a big one because he's been in that kind of form. Shruti, you going with India as well?
Yes, I am. It's terror advantage India.
Super. We think India will take the lead in this third one-day international that will be played on Sunday. We'll also be back with some more cricketing action after that with our next podcast because there's a lot of cricket coming up across the world. For all the latest on World Cricket Chat, do subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button and follow us on Twitter at World Cricket Chat. That's our Twitter handle, World Cricket Chat. See you later.